Purple Daily is daily Vikings entertainment. You just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.
I will ride with this group.
Seriously, man. Please.
And away we go.
It is a Write That Down Wednesday.
Write this down.
On Purple Daily.
Write that down.
Where we show how wrong we are with our predictions. The only show in America, this and the OG edition of Write That Down over on the Mackey and Judd podcast feed and Score North YouTube channel. The only shows in America that actually put statistics next to our predictions here. And if you're new, here's how it works. 3 Vikings or football-related predictions from everybody each week. They must be quantifiable. We keep track of completion percentage and touchdowns in the statistical categories. And if you want to be like Christian and participate as a guest listener predictor, you can send Declan a message through the Score North app, and we'll get you scheduled for the next, I don't know, couple weeks, couple months, whatever the time frame is. Before we make predictions and hold each other accountable, where should we be getting gas and potentially food and snacks and other things, Judd? Why don't you tell us?
You know what? In fact, write this down. It should be a Quick Trip because Quick Trip is going to make your life as easy as possible. If you're watching this right now, you're looking at all of the great offerings. We're not just talking snacks. Yes, you can pick up a snack there, something to go quick, or dinner. That's the great thing. The gasoline quality gas guarantee. Everything Quick Trip does is about making your life as simple as possible. That includes going to your Quick Rewards app and selecting the Order Ahead feature, which is going to allow you to pick up in-store or curbside, and it's going to shave even more time off. Imagine that. Be sure also to check for additional savings on fuel as well. Quick Trip. Write this down. Makes your life easy.
Wow.
Write this down.
Look at that tie-in. What a read.
That sounds very nice.
That was one of your best reads right there.
I met someone over the weekend, and they said, when you say your sponsors are friends, are they really your friends? And I said, of course they're our friends.
Yes.
All of them are our friends.
I always say they're our friends.
Our friends.
They're part of our family.
But they are quick side street there. Yeah, we're super passionate about. It's not like TV, radio, where you just run 5 minutes of commercials or whatever during a show. We get to know the owners of the companies, and we genuinely want to weave them into our show. This is how we keep doing 365-day-a-year Vikings content, is friends like Quick Trip and others that we'll tell you about. So, let's get into the accountability session here. All right, gentlemen. Okay. By the way, someone did email a snake draft suggestion of just the greatest Judd ad reads of all time. And I don't know how we would even go back and find those.
I see.
Yeah, that'd be tough. That'd be a lot of work for somebody.
That'd be good.
Go back and snake draft them. Judd, you said Case Cookus would be the MVP of the UFL 2024 season.
Yes, I did. Who was?
Adrian Martinez.
The former Nebraska?
Former Nebraska, and a Jeremiah Cyril's client, friend of the show. Adrian Martinez.
He was at Nebraska for, I think, 10 years.
Yeah, apparently he frustrated Nebraska fans a lot in those 10 to 12 years he was their quarterback. And now Nebraska fans are apparently watching him carve up the UFL and bring his team to a championship and win the MVP. And they're like, why couldn't we see that version of Adrian Martinez more often in Husker Red?
Well, anyway, Case Cookus, you tried.
But you failed.
Yeah, failed miserably. Failed me.
Yes. Everyone's ashamed. Okay, I said Kevin O'Connell will join Purple Daily as part of a parlay. And he'll give one of us a good point or good question in said interview. I don't think he did. He
didn't, man.
He did not.
It seemed like he wanted to 2 or 3 times. Just didn't pull the trigger on it.
I think he has a memory that's incredible. And we explained the game to him last year.
Yeah.
He's aware.
I wonder if he
we
was
stopped
aware.
the game with a ding.
Yeah.
And then congratulated you, Judd. Nice job for getting the good question. And he laughed and thought it was clever. But yeah, he didn't want to give in to the game.
He didn't, which is funny because it's very against what Gerson Rosas did, who loved the game back in the day.
He did love the game
and would give out the good question. Continually. I think he gave one to each of us one time.
Yeah, he would literally stop, wink at the camera. That's a great question there, Judd. Nice
Yes.
job, buddy.
So very differing views on how to approach that
Yeah.
game.
On our old radio show, we used to have a tally when Rami was here. I think the peak of it was when it was Mackie and Judd with Rami in the afternoons on 1500 ESPN, then Score North Radio at the time. And at one point, it was like someone had 30, the other one had 20 to like 18. We had like 60 different. We had standings, and
Rami-
every interview we would stop it, and the guest would be like, "What? What's happening?"
And Rami would get super competitive and pissed off.
Fist pumping behind the scenes. Yes, let's go. Let's go. Okay, listeners had nothing come off the board here this week, so we'll highlight a prediction that's still on the board. Austin said, at the end of the 2024 season, a Vikings player will win Rookie of the Year award. Who's the most likely rookie right now? Is it Dallas Turner?
Dallas Turner.
Although, and both of them thankfully aren't playing baseball because they had horrible first pitches. A second viral tweet of the month for Old Dex tweets. I was the only one who caught the JJ McCarthy one.
Good one.
That was horrible. I mean,
What happened there, man? That was...
I mean, it's one thing, like Dallas Turner airmailed one, and that ball would have been, by the way, like 8 rows up the Legends Club if there wasn't a netting behind the plate. And McCarthy just spiked one before the left-handed batter's box. Like, not ideal. And look, some people are really making a big deal over, he's a football player, he's not playing baseball. Okay, just gently throw rainbow to the guy. I don't think it's that hard.
Look,
I don't think it's that hard.
Famous last words here.
Oh, this is awesome.
That's fine.
You're about to throw out the first
I
pitch
am.
tomorrow night at the St. Paul Saints game.
Well, hold on a second here.
That's awfully haughty to say 24 hours before you're about to do it.
Can you? Okay, I feel like did McCarthy throw from the mound or in front of the
He
mound?
did throw from the mound, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I feel like now, Dex, you have to throw from the mound.
I don't think
You
they
do.
allow us because the Saints, when they don't do one at a time, they kind of do them like all at once, and they all line people up like in front of the mound. So I don't think I'm allowed to go to the mound.
Oh, it's going to be
Otherwise-
you and other people throwing out the first pitch?
I typically when they do the Saints stuff, like they kind of line them all up. Now I've noticed that before. Could be a different case on Thursday.
If you have the opportunity to make it apples to apples after what you just, that's some harsh criticism of JJ McCarthy.
I'm with Phil here. I think you gotta go
Scathing
on the mound.
criticism. And you're going to do it tomorrow night.
Yep.
And you've got friends there. I feel like you could tell your friends, "Hey, look, allow the
Saints.
two schleps who are supposed to throw it with me to throw it before me,
They can go first. They're not
I'm going on
Declan
the
Goff
mound.
from Score North. Okay.
but make sure you say schleps. I'm going on the mound."
Okay.
Yeah, I think I don't know, it's very ballsy of you to
I hear you, Phil, because I would
criticize JJ
Yeah.
McCarthy in that way 24 hours before you're about. But maybe you're confident. You feel
He's
confident.
also he's a 10th overall pick. He throws a football for a living. I think you should be able to get it there.
I think the mechanics
doubling down.
I think the mechanics are very different. That's
Well,
all
they
I'll
are
say.
very different. Like with footballs.
Yeah, you're
First of all,
throwing
you're holding an oblong object.
right.
It's sort of like sideways. Your hand is sort of sideways.
right.
Baseball, your hand is behind the ball. You're driving the ball, maybe a little 3/4, right?
I think they should just bring a football then going forward. Just bring a football to the
Yeah,
mound.
that's a
do
great-
first pitch.
That's
Yeah.
actually a great idea.
It is a
So
good
we're
idea.
going to ask a football player to throw a baseball and look like an idiot. Why don't you,
Right.
chuck him the pigskin
I-
and then watch
I
the
did a-
catcher try to catch a football. Watch him look like an idiot.
I did appreciate some of the comments though on the video that said the catcher actually ran the wrong route. So JJ McCarthy was
Wow.
correct in spiking it before the plate. So
Live to see another throw. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Declan, you had nothing come off the board, so we'll highlight
yeah.
this one still on the board because I believe it's this weekend is Morgan Wallen, right?
yeah, Thursday,
weekend?
2 shows. He's doing 2 shows, I believe, too. I think today or tomorrow and Thursday.
Tomorrow.
Actually,
So today is Wednesday. So tomorrow and Friday.
Yeah, Thursday, Friday. He's doing 2 shows, I believe.
So you said at least one of his 2 U.S. Bank Stadium shows will feature in the pre-show walk out to the stage at least one of the following: JJ McCarthy, Aaron Jones, Justin Jefferson, or former Viking Adam Thielen.
Yep.
So we'll see if that happens.
So yeah, tomorrow and Friday he's got 2 shows.
Okay.
I wonder if he'll throw out. Speaking of first pitches,
Oh,
I wonder if he'll throw out the first pitch at a Twins game either tonight or tomorrow.
that would make some sense. Get that social media team out there. Clickety.
Oh, another
clickety.
viral Dex tweet.
Clickety, clickety.
Clickety, click, click, click.
So right now, Declan completion percentage 48.9%. I'm at 37.5. Judd 34.5. Listeners 33.3. Judd and listeners each have 3 touchdowns. Declan with 2. I have 1. All-time stats: Declan 37% completions. Judd 35%. I'm at 33.5. Listeners 23%. I have the most touchdowns with 47. With Declan and the listeners creeping behind. So there is your accountability session here. Let's get listener Christian in here to make his guest predictions. Christian, what's going on, man? Welcome to the show.
How's it going, guys? Big fan. I watch you pretty much every day.
Awesome, dude. Thank you. So, yeah, what's your history as a Vikings fan? How far back do your Vikings memories go?
So it goes back to 2006. It was kind of a mistake, honestly. My dad is a Rams Steelers fan, and he was flipping through channels, and he stumbled upon the Vikings. The Vikings are about his third favorite team. Wasn't his intention, and I don't know. It pulled me in, and I became a Vikings fan since then, and it's been a rough road.
Wow. It's always funny when, if you're not born and raised in a Vikings family and something happens that you could be a Steelers fan and have multiple championships, or we've heard from people that could have been Patriots fans or whatever, and you wind up do you ever think, man, I wish I was a Steelers fan?
Every day. This is such a hard franchise to get behind because, as we all know, the history of this team, this is such a snake-bitten franchise. And honestly, I stumbled upon them, and I'm not even from Minnesota. I'm live in New York, born and raised. So not many Viking fans out here.
So what did you like? Like the uniforms, or what caused you to stick with this?
Those great 2006 Vikings uniforms that Judd hated.
I hated those uniforms. Yeah.
I can't
Not
really
the team.
say it was anything in particular. The uniforms were awful. Those are the worst uniforms in Viking history.
They are.
It was nothing in particular. Maybe it was just meant to be.
Well, was it 07? Or it might have happened twice because the Vikings had a couple weird wins over the Giants. 05, or was it 05 where they scored 3 non-offensive touchdowns?
Oh, at the Meadowlands. Yeah.
They made Eli Manning look really bad a couple times. I think it happened in 07 too. I'm pretty sure the Vikings beat the Giants in ugly fashion the year that the Giants won the Super Bowl.
Sharper had a touchdown, right? And Greenway maybe had one? Yeah. Right.
So, well, let's do this. Christian, we'll start with you. You'll make your first prediction. We'll go around the room 3 times. Christian, Judd, Declan, back to me. You are under center, sir. What is your first prediction?
Cool. So let's start off with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold in his career has never thrown more than 19 touchdowns. With the Minnesota Vikings this season, Sam Darnold will throw for 20 or more touchdowns.
Let's go.
All right.
Let's go. Bring that Sam Darnold, the Darnold defenders growing by the day.
I think he's going to have a good year. I think he's going to have a good year. He has the talent. KOC made everything out of Dobbs. Dobbs is not a good quarterback. KOC went behind him, and he played great for a few games. Can't wait to see what he can do with Darnold, who has untapped potential.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Judd, what do you have to say to the people? Because I've heard this since proclaiming my own stance as a Darnold defender now going forward. The people come back and say, wait a second, you're standing for Sam Darnold, but you criticized Kirk Cousins for all those years? What would your comeback to that be?
Well, my comeback to that would be that that the expectations for Sam are more like curiosity.
Just like Kirk, don't trip if you're a server at a restaurant. Don't trip over a cord and dump the plates all over the floor.
Kirk was a mercenary. Kirk was a football hitman, and he didn't execute the hit, which was a Super Bowl.
He missed his first shot, and it was like, damn it, and now the
then he got arrested,
is out on the loose.
And then he testified against me, and now I'm serving life in football jail. Yeah. Sam Darnold is, he's more of a patsy. I mean, if he does well, that's awesome. If he doesn't, we're not surprised. So it's much easier to stand because Kirk had only one thing. he had to win. He basically had to win a Super Bowl. Like that was it.
I like your mercenary hitman metaphor because it's like, all right, Kirk, here's the mission.
Yep.
So the suspect in question is sleeping in their house right now, and we need you to break in quietly and do the deed.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Totally.
Yep.
I can
Got
do
it,
that.
got
You
it.
guys,
This-
you guys
this
are
is what
paying
I
me
do.
$84 million. Here we go.
This is
Do
what I
it.
do.
It's like he gets inside the house, and it's going pretty well for the first 5 games, for the first little bit, and then all of a sudden he steps on a cat's tail,
Yep.
and then some pans come falling down
You know what
from
it
the
is?
cupboards.
It's if Taken met Home Alone. So at the start, he's like, Liam,
I have a
particular
set of skills. Yes, I'm accurate.
And then he became, Joe Pesci.
Stepping on a nail as he goes up the
Yep.
basement
it is.
steps. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Write this down.
Judd's first prediction.
Okay. A general NFL season prediction on a particular team that's not the Vikings. The Patriots will win 4 or fewer games this season.
What's over under 4.5 right now?
Yeah, and I think
So
it's
you're
gonna
taking
be,
the under?
I think they're going to be a complete mess.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to be just terrible. So they will.
The
win
weapons
4.
that we were going over yesterday. Holy cow!
Well,
it is.
and are they going to
really
play
rough.
May? What Jacoby Brissett is the veteran they signed, right?
Their defense is not a train wreck. It should keep them competitive, but yeah, I mean it's gonna be.
I think
Write
it's going
this
to be a
down.
long year.
Okay, Declan.
Write this down. We talked about special teams on Purple Daily on Draft for 20 minutes on Monday's episode, leading with a ton of great stuff there, because we just don't know what these kickoffs are going to look like. And also, does this change the complete roster crunch of how players make the team with how these new special team rules are going to be affected? So write this down. In a preseason game, we will see the Vikings execute a squib kick. Squib kick. They're going to try to do a squib kick. They're going to do something new because this new kicking rule, they can't move, obviously, until it gets to a certain point. I think you're going to see unique kicks. I think you're going to see random things thrown out there. We're going to see the Vikings execute a squib kick at some point in a preseason game. Write it down.
Okay. I have a question
Write
off
this
that.
down.
This prediction is etched in stone now. Is that possible with the new
Yeah, I think they
kickoff
can.
setup?
Yes. They just can't. You can't kick it out of bounds, right? So you can try to kick it into a certain area, and once it
Right.
crosses the certain area, then you can go.
Well, how would you? I'm just I don't know what the kickoff's going to look like, but you've got so the kicker is back at whatever the 35-yard line, right? And then everybody else is 40 yards in front of him, lined up. So what they're designing here is they want the kicker to kick it over the other players, over the, let's call it 20 players combined that are on the line of scrimmage, or whatever you call it. I don't know. Is it a line of scrimmage? Do we even know what you call it? But could you squib? So you'd have to plinko a squib kick through those 20 people to get it to the ball carrier? Or what if you kick it into the back of one of your guys? Is it a live ball?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
It's just going to be mayhem. All hell's going to break loose.
What constitutes a squib kick too?
Like a ball that's, you know it when you see it. It'll be
Not airborne.
kicked, not airborne. Yeah.
So it can't be a bounce.
Kick.
It can't be a
Correct.
pooch or a bounce. It has to be a ground ball.
A ground ball.
Kick.
Yeah.
That's a squib.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Write this down.
Okay, I got to do it to Dex. I mean, he puffed his chest. So I'm going to say this. Declan will bounce or airmail his first pitch at the Saints game tomorrow night.
Wow.
The ball will either hit the ground before it reaches the catcher, or it will fly past or over the catcher. So it will not be thrown cleanly into the catcher's glove, is my prediction.
Okay.
I'm
Hopefully,
rooting for you, but
No, you're
you
not
messed
anymore.
with
Actually,
the
you
first
can't
pitch
be
karma
now.
gods
No,
here.
no, you're not. That's fine.
You can't be rooting for him now. You gotta
Hopefully
hold back.
Mudana has some good catch. I don't know who's catching too. Is it gonna be the pitching coach? It's also a good one too, because the TC Bear, this version of TC Bear, is not great at catching first
Yeah,
pitches.
lousy at it.
But if you hit his glove and it rattles, that's his fault.
That's a pass ball. That's not a wild
yeah.
pitch.
Yeah.
Wait, if I may, okay, first of all, you need to throw your pitch from the mound now alone. So I don't want these schleps. It's just you.
Okay,
And the
that
second
that
thing,
might not be possible. I'm just letting you know.
I'm putting
So
myself out there that however the first pitch is thrown,
Okay.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
prefer it happens from the mound.
For sure.
And
I
obviously,
would like- yeah.
I have a better
Okay.
chance of being right on this prediction
And-
if it's from the mound.
and the second thing I would like to see a credible baseball player catch your pitch.
Okay, again,
I'd like Brooks
but that
Lee.
doesn't factor
I
into any
can't-
of this.
Yeah.
Oh no, I
can't-
know. I'm just speaking for my own selfish purposes of what I'd like to see.
Okay. To be clear, whoever is back there, it doesn't
I like
matter.
Brooks Lee
Like
back
if the
there.
ball
Actually-
reaches whoever's back there on the fly, then I lose.
That is a terrible idea because that is a curb situation because I'm going to hit the guy in the knee and he's going to be out. Like I don't want to throw the ball at Brooks Lee. That's literally an
Okay.
episode of Curb.
Okay,
Give me the
just,
lowest totem pole on the Saints team. I don't need
Let me
a
just
top
no
say
Brooks
prospect.
Lee, no
Yeah,
Matt
you hit
Wallner.
Brooks Lee, and he had to go on the IL.
Oh God!
That would be
my eye,
that
my eye!
that would be an all score North could basically just go away then because we would have hit the pinnacle.
Back to Christian for
Write this down.
your second prediction.
So second prediction. Let's go down the Kirk Cousins route again, considering I think he wasted 6 years of our life. So Kirk Cousins with the Atlanta Falcons. On his new team, the Falcons will experience the full Kirk Cousins effect. So this upcoming season, the Atlanta Falcons will win no more than 10 games. They will make the playoffs, and they will lose in the first round in the playoffs.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean,
So a
that's,
nice little 3-part parlay.
yeah, I think that about sums up the
Write
experience
this down.
pretty well there. And then there'll be some sort of, I'm sure, mass divide among their fan base. Because what you said, it's funny. You said that Kirk Cousins wasted 6 years of our lives, but there's a ton of Vikings fans or Kirk Cousins fans, if you will, that think that the Vikings wasted 6 years of Kirk Cousins' time. That's
Those
the
are
crazy
people who are not in it to win a Super Bowl. They just want to compete with 9-10 wins, make the playoffs, and that's it. They had no aspirations of winning a Super Bowl. They don't know what winning's like. So
And if
They
you're the
love Kirk.
Falcons right now and you're looking to go from 7 wins every year to like 9 or 10, and that's the next phase in your evolution, okay, that's cool.
Write this down.
Go get it, Falcons.
that's what they want.
I think it's safe to say right now that from a front office perspective, the Falcons have no idea what they want.
Yeah, it feels
They
a
just
little.
want stability.
Yeah.
Yeah, which they've created a weird instability through their desire to have stability.
Yeah. Now they have a wildly uncomfortable quarterback room.
Write this down.
Judd, what's your next prediction?
All right. The Carolina Panthers will trade Adam Thielen by the NFL trade deadline this season.
Mm.
I think he can go to a contender and be like a 3. He's
Yeah.
reliable. I mean, he has attributes that if you put him on the right team in the right situation, he can help. Carolina's not it though. Like, what's he doing there?
Yeah, you need a team that really needs a number 3 wide receiver, a team that maybe is a little better than you think halfway through the season, that just desperately needs a number 3 wide receiver, maybe to even help mentor young quarterback
No,
on
I
the
don't need him
roster.
back here. Shut up.
Would you
No.
rather have Adam
No.
Thielen or Brandon Powell as your number 3
Brandon
receiver?
Powell.
right now?
I'm fine.
Really?
I think Thielen
Oh, I'd take
needs to
Thielen
go-
10 times out of 10.
I
over
think
Brandon.
Thielen needs to go to a team that has Super Bowl aspirations. Like if the Chiefs lost a guy, I think he'd be great there. He could just go there, catch some Mahomes passes. No. I'm fine. I'm good.
The Buffalo Bills would be a great spot. You know, they got basically Keon Coleman they're hoping that dude pans out.
I sort of like that.
Don't they? Is it Valdez Scantling is their number
Yes,
3 right now?
Who has hands of he's got mallets for hands, like frying pans for hands.
Thielen could come in there.
That's a
It'd
good
be-
one.
I mean, think about that. Josh Allen could go from Diggs to Thielen, yelling at him on the sideline.
Yeah. Why didn't I get the ball?
Write this down.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Okay, Dex.
All right, second one for me. We talked a lot about Jaquelin Roy on both Monday episodes of our full show and Purple Daily on draft. So his career high in snaps for a game is 17. He played in 17 snaps, I think, against the Panthers in week 3 of last year. Write this down. Jaquelin Roy will play a career high in snaps in week 1 for the Vikings.
Oh.
So 18 or more snaps against the Giants. Jaquelin Roy, write it down.
That's a touchdown if that happens, I think, because you're putting it out there for week
Right now.
1. I like that.
Yep.
I feel like it's wide open, man. Like, step up this training camp, Jaquelin, and make it happen, guy.
Write this down.
5th round pick, LSU.
You might.
It's all right in front of you. Okay, this is a 5-item parlay here. These 5 bubble players, write this down, will not make the initial 53-man roster. Lewis Seen, Andrew Booth Jr., Jaron Hall, N'Keal Harry, who they moved to tight end, and Ryan Wright, the starting punter, competing for his job.
Okay.
So those 5 bubble players will not make the initial 53. Jaron Hall, Lewis Seen, Andrew Booth Jr., N'Keal Harry, and Ryan Wright. Write it down. I could see them trying to sneak Jaron Hall onto the practice squad. Keep the 2 veteran quarterbacks behind or in front of JJ McCarthy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the question, if McCarthy shows enough in training camp, which is debatable, that's where I've told both of you, I could see Mullins being traded if they trust him to back up. But if there's any question, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Write this down.
Okay, Christian, your third and final prediction.
All right. This is a long-term 99-yard Hail Mary. But I don't know. I just got a feeling that I haven't felt in a while.
Okay.
All right. You guys ready? Judge, you're going to have to get the flag in a bit.
Oh,
JJ McCarthy, within the next 4 years, will lead the Minnesota Vikings to their first championship.
Wow. The JJ McCarthy love has reached its pinnacle, hoisting the Lombardi Trophy with confetti falling around his purple shoulder pads.
And saying, F that first pitch, that Declan guy. F that first pitch. I'm a world champion now.
There's just something about him, guys. The leadership skills, I don't think he's fake. He's got great tangibles. He's staying behind, learning the playbook, getting to know his teammates. He wants to win. He's a winner. He's won everywhere he's been. Minnesota is going to be no different. He has a great surrounding cast. I love KOC as a head coach.
Yeah.
I think he's a top 10 to 15 head coach in this league right now. Quasi, I'm still a little iffy on, but I think KOC led offense. And he's got all the talent. He's got a great arm. There's a lot of people saying that he didn't have a strong arm coming out of the draft, which I don't know what tape they're looking at, but he's got a cannon on his arm. He can run. He can move the pocket. He knows where he's going with the ball. Came from a pro style system. It just lines up right, and I got a strange feeling.
I like where Christian's going here. Judd hasn't waved that flag since they drafted JJ McCarthy. You gotta build up that flag arm strength throughout the offseason here.
That was a heavy flag.
Well, great stuff. We're glad you put yourself out there here, Christian. Since you've got this life-changing platform right now on Purple Daily, is there anyone in your life you'd like to thank that helped you get to this moment?
Well, I'm not going to thank my dad because he's the reason why I became a Viking fan. So I think I would have chose a different franchise. Honestly, if I was going back in time, it's been kind of rough, guys. But I would like to thank my girlfriend. Primarily because in the last 7 years, she's had to deal with a lot of random outbursts on Sunday afternoons. So that would scare her a bit. So that's my one shout out. I would like to shout out my best friend forever, my boy Peter. He runs a channel. He's the mock draft guy on YouTube. Very insightful, very detailed. If anybody here wants to check out, he does mock drafts. Draft profiles, player profiles in college year round, for not even, the next draft, but previous next drafts after that. Super smart, very handsome. If you guys want to check him out,
he's a great looking guy. Smells great. Great hygiene.
He does.
Great product in the hair.
Great hygiene. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Maybe
Great
he can help us.
hair.
Maybe he can help us identify like defensive tackles who can get a sack for the Vikings in the first round next year.
He nailed the Dallas Turner pick in one of his mock drafts to the Vikings. So
yeah,
he's very
Love
insightful.
Well, Christian, great stuff, dude. We'll do it again sometime. Thanks for coming on.
Love you guys.
All right, there he
Thanks,
is.
Christian.
Christian, our guest listener predictor here. Before we go further, let's talk about golf. I see that the rain has stopped for 5 minutes, so maybe this is a great time on a nice, cool, non-humid day to get your butt down to the Meadows at Mystic.
Absolutely, you should. And right now, our friends at the Meadows and us here at Score North, we're teaming up to give away a one stay-and-play golf package for 4 each month. Prizes include 2 rounds of golf with cart at the Meadows and 1 night stay at Mystic Lake Casino Hotel for 4. For your chance to win, all you got to do is download the Score North app and listen to your favorite content and enter in the Listen Rewards tab on the Score North app.
Also, our friends at AG1 here, and I'm holding up for the YouTube audience one of these little travel packs that have become very central to my daily routine, trusted by top athletes all over the world and top purple podcasters. AG1 is a simple and comprehensive foundational nutrition supplement for whole body health. It helps me fill nutritional gaps, and there can be many, to fortify my body so I can focus on the things that matter most, like hot takes on this podcast. Each scoop of AG1 contains whole food sourced ingredients that support gut health, focus, immune health, and more. You can either do the 1 scoop mixed with your water or one of these travel packs mixed with your water. You shake it up. I drink it all in one sitting, either in the morning or middle of the day, kind of a spike in the middle of my day. If there's one product I had to recommend to elevate your health, it's AG1. If you want to take ownership of said health, it starts with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2. I do one of those drops every morning. And 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. It's drinkag1.com/purple daily. Drinkag1.com/purple daily. Okay.
Write this down.
Judd.
All right, third and final. Josh Metellus, who had 1 interception last season, will lead the Vikings defense in interceptions this season. Josh Metellus will lead the Vikings. Byron Murphy led them. They actually didn't pick off a ton of passes, but I think with more familiarity and actually a better overall defense, I think they're going to pick off a few more. Josh Metellus will lead the way.
Interesting. Yeah, is his role going to be similar to last year, where he's just playing pretty much everywhere?
I think there's a good chance, but I also think they're going to mix things up a bit to keep offenses on their toes a little bit, because that defense has now been studied. And I think part of the reason why, it was injuries as well. I think part of the reason why December got tougher, though, was teams started to figure out a little bit more what Flores was doing.
Yes.
And you never rest. You never rest, Phil. The offseason's for getting better.
It is, and you don't want to be blitzing as often as the Vikings did. I mean,
Yes,
they
true.
didn't go into the season saying we're going to have the highest blitz rate of any team, especially when you look at the quarterbacks they're going to play. There's a lot of C.J. Stroud as a young quarterback even is not a guy that you can necessarily fluster with blitzes, but you're going to be playing Aaron Rodgers in week 5. You're going to be playing Jared Goff, a veteran in his 30s, and Matthew Stafford. There's just, Kirk Cousins later on. Yeah, he's immobile, but he'll pick apart a blitz if you let him.
Yep.
So you got to be careful with some of the veteran quarterbacks and talented guys, mobile quarterbacks like Jordan Love, getting too blitz happy with this schedule.
I also think because of that, in a perfect world, they'll play more man. I think they didn't play more man because of the deficiencies, not because it was like it worked out well for quite a while, and it was a great scheme. But I don't think they went in saying, "Oh, I'm glad we can't play man consistently." I think they basically said, "Okay, our guys aren't good enough."
Yeah, that's it.
Write this down.
Okay, Declan's last prediction here.
Yeah, one more prediction here, but also some semi-breaking news.
Whoa.
Ooh.
I am allowed to go to the mound.
Oh. Allowed to go to the mound.
I'm allowed to go to the mound. He says a lot of people do. Can't wait. Maybe you can hope it rains so you don't get to embarrass yourself.
Oh, wow.
You're getting
taunted by people on the inside.
Yeah.
So
I can go to the mound.
Oh, wow. The MILB is taunting you.
They are. A lot of people taunt me, so.
Well, when you puff your chest like that and then you're going to throw a first pitch the next day, kind of
I give you credit, though. You know what? You inquired immediately, though. I give you credit.
Yeah, I didn't like.
You didn't
I didn't
shy
try to-
away.
Didn't shy away. I just asked
Nope.
straight up, can I go to the mound? I'll go to the mound.
I appreciate that.
Let's go. Let's go.
Write this
This will
down.
happen, and we will be recording video of this too. This is going to happen tomorrow night at the Saints game, CHS Field
Hopefully
in
it,
St. Paul.
and hopefully it does stay dry. That would be pleasant for everyone. Write this down though. Judd today, Patriots over under. I'm going to take the Titans. The Titans are at 6.5 wins. I'm going to ride that over.
Okay.
The Titans will win at least 7 games in 2024. Write it down.
I love these random
Yeah.
random
June.
football predictions.
That
It's
time
June.
of year.
Yep.
I can't talk because I have 3 of them. I think I have 49ers. I have Cowboys under, 49ers missing playoffs or something. So we got a bunch of these. And then my final prediction, write this down,
Write this down.
off of the JJ McCarthy positivity from listener Christian. It will be documented or publicized in some form this season, like regular season, that JJ McCarthy is in the facility on a Tuesday. Write it down.
Write this down.
And not like a short week, take the weird weeks out. Take the Monday game
Right. Yeah.
where they
It
might
doesn't
come in the
count
next
if
day.
if they're working on
Thursday
Tuesday.
game. Yeah.
Yeah.
He will come in on the designated Tuesday off day at some point, and it will be made public
Write this down.
in some form.
Yeah. That's
Write
a great
it down.
prediction.
It's
a great
funny.
prediction. I love it.
It's kind of the Tuesday thing has kind of it started off as it's Kirk explaining it on Netflix, and then we kind of poked at it and had some fun with it, and then there was a couple times where I actually legitimately criticized him for I've had other people who played in the NFL saying, yeah, it's super weird that the quarterback never comes in on a Tuesday.
Yes.
But for all the fans that defended him staunchly, at your job, would you come in on a Saturday, this, that, the other? It's like, first of all, these are NFL football players being paid tens of millions of dollars or hundreds of millions of dollars, right?
Correct.
And also their commitment to the facility is not 12 months. It's there's parts in April and May and a little bit of June, but it's you get 3 or 4 months where you can have your own workout schedule at your home. It's a kind of a seasonal job in the facility, right? But if I were to ask everyone who complained about complaining about Kirk Cousins not working on Tuesdays, would you rather have your quarterback all in committed on Tuesdays or not? If we find out that JJ McCarthy, who, by the way, answered a question at OTAs last week, hey, you going to take a vacation here in the next month? What's your plan to kind of get away? He goes, I'm not going to get away.
Yep.
I'm going to be in the facility every single day from the middle of June until training camp starts to build habits and to do my best. Are we going to tell him, no, you need to slow down, son? You need to take some you time.
And your pro
Take some
career-
time. Be with your family.
And your pro career is short too. I love how there's this equivalency of, well, your job, well, my job has nothing to do with their job.
Also, yeah, to your point, these guys are done by the time they're 35 or 40.
Yeah, like if Declan was told, hey, dude, in a couple of years, you're done. This job is done.
Well.
You're going to approach your job. Well, I'm saying
Contract's up in a couple of months. Huh?
I'm saying period. I'm saying you can't work in the industry.
Yeah.
You approach it differently. Here's what I want to see, though. Some smart, enterprising hot taker is going to find out if Michael Penix goes in on Tuesdays for the Falcons.
Oh, man.
Because remember, Kirk was always shielded here. They always shielded him. They never created a threat.
Yeah.
Well, there's a
Oh,
threat
that's gonna
now.
be funny.
There's a credible threat on the radar, and it's headed for number 8.
Florio already threw out the idea of him being traded to the Dolphins next year.
Like 2025?
Yeah, with on Barstool with Big Cat, that if they want to move on to Penix, and even though Kirk has a no trade clause, no trade clause doesn't mean a trade can never not happen. It just means he would waive it to go play for a team that would say, yeah, we'll actually play you, instead of not wanting to play you and just for you to sit there. So I wonder how long this will last in Atlanta too, especially them drafting Penix now.
And the irony of the no trade clause is the reason Kirk wants the no trade clause is so that he knows that he's going to be in this place for the duration of the contract unless he decides otherwise.
Right.
But then they created an environment 6 weeks after the signing of that contract that makes him not want to be part of it anymore. I mean, he's going to be a good soldier this year, I'm sure. And I mean, what are you going to do? Demand a trade before your first season under contract? But that sounds like a hot take on the surface. It's really not, because if you're the Dolphins and you decide we're not paying $55 million for Tua, the system and the weapons are what prop up quarterbacks here. So it's interesting.
And if you go to the Dolphins, no state income tax.
It's a good point.
So now you're free and clear of state. And I mean, that is, with these contracts now, that is a big deal.
Yeah. Yep. You know what else is a big deal? Making sure you have the right representation if you've been involved in an accident. And that's where our friends at Nicolai Law come in. A shout out to the exclusive personal injury law firm of Purple Daily. Nicolai Law knows that when you or a loved one gets hurt, ordinary life can come to a stop. That's where they come in. So Nicolai Law, they're just normal folks who live in and around the Twin Cities who happen to have law degrees, and they're here to make sure you get the compensation you deserve after an accident. So if you've been injured, get Minnesota's local award-winning injury lawyers, NicolaiLaw.com, or give them a call at 1-855-NICOLAI. So, all right, those are the Write That Down predictions. We've got more things to rank coming up in the coming days here, including today we're actually going to be recording something for 4th of July weekend where Judd is going to rank the former Packers who became Vikings. Like Aaron Jones is the most recent.
Right.
But there's a bunch of other examples.
I've got a top 10.
Okay.
Wow. Heck yeah.
I've got a top 10. I went through. There have been 61 who have played for both teams. I believe
61.
that's what I found. 61. And now some of those were guys that started as Vikings and then became Packers. But there is a long list of guys that started as Packers or at some point played for the Packers, subsequently playing here.
And this is like you had to be a Packer first and then a Viking?
Yes. So you can't go backwards. Because like we're poaching.
And then you're also going to put together the 10 most maligned people in Vikings history. Listener John, shout out. I'm going to work on ranking all 32 NFL head coaches to see where Kevin O'Connell is. Maybe we do that tomorrow. Maybe that's a tomorrow show. I don't know. I don't know if I can put that together in one day. But if you have suggestions for things you want us to snake draft or things you want us to rank in the next month and a half until training camp, let us know. We'll probably make room for it here during these June and July months. Purple Daily Vikings entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a dang Super Bowl before we die.